Athletic dads, welcome back to the channel. You guys know how life is. Not a ton of time, always working around other people's schedules and time constraints. So I'm not even gonna sit down and shoot the intro. I'm gonna shoot the intro here after we've gotten nice and warmed up. So our vertical jump variation today, as you just saw, is a barbell squat jump. So 3 sets of 5, trying to build up weight each set to try to get to a basically top set of a jump. I just want you to feel explosive. I want you to feel fast. We've got heavy doubles today. So we're just using that vertical jump to be able to prep exactly this same position that we're getting into in the squat, also doing it in a shorter time. So instead of adding a jump somewhere else in the program, we're gonna do it just to kick it off because I really want a lot of energy and a lot of focus going into the squats today. So we've got doubles now on the squat. We're gonna go 3 good working sets up to a top 2, right? Up to a top set of 2, and then we're gonna drop 5 to 7% of that and hit a 10-minute density set. This is one of those days, man, where as things of the program that you're writing start to come together, as you're starting to figure out where things work and how it feels when you add certain movements and certain exercises and certain time constraints and certain, fluctuations and variations of exercises and rep ranges, this is one of those days that you look on the program and you think, this is gonna be a tough day, right? And so, a bit anxious going into it because I know it's gonna be hard. I want it to be hard, that's why it's written like this. But this is just one of those days that kind of got me fired up from as soon as I woke up this morning. Even going to bed last night, I thought, okay, how can I best prepare my body to be able to have a great double when I squat and then also to hit some heavy singles in our density work. So, now that we're done with the jumps, we've done the jumps and the spinal rotations with the PVC pipes, now we're gonna go into our working sets of squats. So I'm trying to build up to a good top set of 2 to get started. And so here I've got 185. After I've done the first 3 sets of 5 jumps, I'm now dropping everything down to sets of 2 because I don't wanna accumulate a ton of volume on my way up to that first top set of 2. So this should be pretty good, pretty easy, pretty fast. We've just got 2, then we're gonna make a couple of jumps, and I've got a good idea of where I wanna be for those 3 good working sets of 2, but this is kind of what I gotta do on the way up there. Gotta move all these weights nice and fast. Got our OVR connected, talked about it a couple videos ago. 1.6, 1.5, trying to move this thing with some speed. As you saw by the title, this is week 8, day 2 of the program here. Dropping from week 7, we had triples. Now we got doubles here for week 8. And I think it's important when it comes to selecting a training method. Let's say you're not in college where you have somebody give you a program. Let's say you're not in high school. Let's say you're not currently an athlete, right? But you are an athletic dad. You're a dad who is pursuing athleticism, either trying to regain athleticism that they once had or remain athletic moving forward. I think it's important when you're selecting training programs is you want to have a little bit of this anxiety getting ready to go into a training session. That's how you know that you're being challenged to the point where if you overcome that challenge, you will gain momentum, you will gain confidence, you are gaining strength. You're getting all of those unquantifiable pieces of the training program out of it that we ultimately want. You want to have days that are tough. You want to have days that you're concerned about. You want to have days that you're really worried about, that you might lose some sleep the night before because that tells you you're going in the right direction. That means you're challenging yourself enough to create change. That means you're becoming the individual, the father, the person who you truly feel like you want to become, or becoming the individual, the father, the person who you know you can become. Let's move this 275 fast. I'm really set up to win today. I feel like I got some good momentum going into this training session. So last night, this morning, amazing night, amazing morning with the family. So I'm in really good headspace currently. I've got Coach Spencer's weightlifting shoes on. Mine, I felt like I was moonwalking across the floor. So switched him out for his. He let me borrow those. Got Spencer's belt. Training has been rolling and going really well. So I feel great physically. The only thing is I'm a bit under caffeinated, maybe about 300 in currently. It's 3 p.m. So I don't foresee myself jacking those numbers up anymore today, which are pretty low numbers for me. But all in all, pretty primed for a good session. So first working set here, double at 315. First one move at 0.94, next was 1.13. Another great thing about this approach is if you have plenty of time to dedicate to a day like today in training, you can spend as much time as you need between the few working sets of doubles to really work up to something heavy, understanding that when we drop into the density set, we're gonna get less reps, but at a heavier load. If you don't have a ton of time to dedicate to training, then you don't take as long to warm up, you don't jump into quite as heavy of sets of doubles, and then when you drop that weight, the weight's gonna be lighter, so you're gonna be able to accumulate more volume, getting a little more of a hypertrophy response. So it works either way you wanna play it, whether you've got plenty of time or whether you don't have any time at all. My goal going into this session was to hit something pretty heavy on the double and then have a really challenging density set where I get somewhere between 5 and 8 reps, say like 6 and 8, 6 and 9 reps. So we're working up, this is the second working set. We have 335 on here. How do we move that? 0.88 for the second one, 0.92 for the first one. Got 360 on the bar. This would be a PR double, so a rep PR here at 360. Yep. 7-7, 8-1. I have no idea what that means. So this is the part I was a bit afraid of going into it, is this density set. So we got 10 minutes on the clock. As soon as I unrack this, well, I guess right before I unrack it, I'm gonna start that timer. We got 10 minutes. We're gonna try to accumulate a good couple reps here we dropped 7%, so we're down to 335. Would love to get, like we said earlier, anywhere between like 6 and 8, 6 and 9, but that would mean I would have to move pretty fast. So we'll see what happens. Time's going. We've got to be able to, in training, turn it on and turn it off. And by that I mean, we got to turn it on when we're hitting 90+% of squats. And then we've got to be able to quickly turn everything off, not be as aggressive, and then be able to approach another heavy set and then turn it back on. So I'm trying to hone that energy where I had a lot of juice going into that double. I've got to approach every rep of these singles like it's my top single. Make sure it gets done really well, super good quality. I don't want to fully recover in between these reps either. That's the other part. If I'm taking 3 to 5 minutes, I'll get 2 reps done, right? I'm trying to accumulate a ton of density, work on training capacity a bit. So I'm not allowing myself to rest a ton. I'm not quite on the minute currently, a little longer than a minute, but as that feels good, as I get through them, I'm trying to speed it up just a bit to get some more reps in. Another major benefit of having a great training partner is being able to go back and forth on this kind of stuff. They hit a rep, you hit a rep, they hit a rep, you hit a rep. Have somebody push you, have somebody move you at a faster pace. So shout out to all good training partners out there. I know I've had a couple in my life that have just been incredible, who anytime I get the opportunity to train with, I want to try to jump in and train with them because I get pushed, because I challenge myself, because I do more with them than I would do solo. So try to find yourself a good training partner, another athletic dad out there who wants the same goals and has the same vision as you do. 5 reps, 6.5 minutes. Good tempo, good pace. Because that double that was 8 in 8:20. 20 seconds to hit rep 10 in 10 minutes at 335. Feel pretty good about that. Our AMRAP row variation, horizontal row variation, is a chest supported row. So this is gonna take out any momentum that you can use from either your lower body or your upper body, because you're leaning into this bench. We decided to go with dumbbells. We could also do a barbell. We decided to go with dumbbells here. We got 3 sets, many reps as we can, paired with this shoulder press. And remember, I'm looking for anywhere between like 8 and 12 reps on this AMRAP. So if you get to 12 and it's pretty easy, I cut it off. I'm gonna go up for my actual working set, my first working set. So I'm not gonna count this. Remember, we want this program to be able to work whether you have a home gym, whether you go to a place that has just machines, if you're an individual who likes the barbell movements better than the dumbbell movements. So this exercise is a shoulder press, so a vertical overhead press. We've showed standing, we've shown seated with a barbell. So today we're gonna hit a top set of 4 with dumbbells. And we're pairing this with our row. Hardest part's really getting set up on this bad boy. Leaning into it, grabbing the dumbbells, letting them hang. Ooh, 11 good ones. Due to our current setup and current circumstances, the dumbbells that you see behind me go from 55 to 80. The dumbbells that are in the middle of that are all the way on the other side of the turf. So instead of adding a full field dumbbell carry, we're just gonna jump from 55 to 80. I might get absolutely bodied here on 4 reps. That's why I kind of switched our position up. But here we go. This would be a rep PR for certain. Why don't I just tell you what I got over there? It's not 80s. All right, we hit a set of 65s over there on the overhead press for 4. There's no benches or boxes over there, so I did it standing, so I had a little bit of a benefit there. I feel like without sitting on the box or sitting on the bench, so we hit 4 at 65. We'll go up 4 at 70 to finish off last set here. 90s, as many as we can do on the rows. Again, if you need the straps to hold onto a dumbbell, totally fine. We don't want grip to be the limiting factor. Ooh, all right. Last block here. All right, so we're starting to get busy over here. We finished by hitting 4 reps at 70 on the dumbbell overhead press. Our final accessories, we got 2 quick sets, dumbbell walking lunges, 8 each side. We're focusing on that back knee hitting the ground every single time. And we've got 2 rounds of as many push-ups as you can. I'm just gonna film that one that we just hit because it's 4 o'clock, starting to get busy around here. But hope you enjoyed the session. Again, full program comes out in May, the Athletic Dad Training Program, and this is for dads who want to reclaim their athleticism or want to remain athletic as they age and their kids age. Remember, as always, continue to practice gratitude, tell the people that you love them, and live your life stimulated. See you guys on the next one.